Welcome to the video. We're going to talk about why UFC fighters get fat. Now, first, a bit about my history with UFC fighters. I've been coaching, advising, inspiring UFC fighters since 2011, when the first time a UFC, very well-known UFC fighter got in contact with me and was asking me for weight loss stuff. And I was like, I thought this was like a troll, I thought it was a prank. But then in New York, meeting this UFC fighter in real life on the street, and I said to him, I said, how the fuck did you find me? And he goes, mate, all the fighters, well, not all the fighters, but most of the fighters here in the USA, follow some of your shit, from the D8 brothers, etc., because we're all looking to make weight without the starvation and the dehydration, all the bullshit. So that's, they're all obsessed, obsessed with making weight and doing things, which is good in one way and bad in another, because when you're that obsessed about cutting weight, you can get sucked into bad methods. Okay, I wanted to be a pro fighter, and I've trained up. I'm trained, but the risk, the concussion stuff, maybe call me a pussy or whatever, it would just never really appealed to me. And I would, because people used to say, man, you got a fucking strong chin, you just fucking take the hits. And I was like, yeah, and that became a bit of something to be proud of. And then I understood that keep getting punched in the head, kicked in the head, it ain't good for your fucking brain. So as I got more and more into health, I realized, hang on, fighting ain't healthy. Okay. Anyway, but I still really enjoy helping athletes who want to be fighters get their best, because health is very important. And so if you're eating these diets that dehydrate you for cut, and then you're getting concussions, it's a fucking bad recipe, man. That's why I strongly, this is a bit off tangent here, but I recommend that we start the weigh-in at the fight, not the day before. That's fucked, man, because if we do the weigh-in the day before, people just dehydrate down and do stupid shit, and it's a bit of an advantage because then you can gain weight and then you're going to have a better fight, but weight-wise. So it's just, in my opinion, the weigh-in should be done fucking as you step in the ring, okay? And if you don't make cut, then you lose. If we make that change, it's going to make it so much safer, so much better. So the weigh-ins must be done as you sitting there waiting to go to your fight. All right, and if you step on the scales and you're out, then you lose the fight. You lost. It's cool. You know what I mean? But that's not going to happen, is it? Because we don't care about the health of the fighters, man. The weigh-in should be part of the fight, okay? Not the morning of the fight. Like, actually, as you fucking step in the ring, you step on the scale first. That's the first attack. Do you pass the scale test, fatty? Well, you're not fat if you're 100 grams overweight, but I'm just saying, that's what we need to be doing. Anyway, so Rampage Jackson is talking to Paddy. Both these guys, very, very established fighters, very, very good fighters. Respect to that. But these guys they leave their guard down when it comes to carbohydrate phobia. And look at these bros, man. These bros are both they're professional athletes, and they look like fucking Homer Simpson stunt doubles, man. It's a fucking travesty, So it just goes to show you all that training and stuff. You can't out-train a fatty diet. So let's listen to Rampage Jackson and how he fears carbohydrate. And I know girls out there who eat like Rampage Jackson. They avoid carbs and they look like Rampage Jackson. Let's have a look at this.
It was really bad, so I quit the medicine cold turkey and I wasn't eating carbs. Then when I got to Japan for my last fight, my coach told me to eat carbs, and I carved up, and I had a bad reaction to it. I swole up, and I got big, right? And that never really happened. It never really happened to me before. I don't know if I'm allergic to gluten now or the stuff that was in the carbs, and I don't know, but it happened to me, and I was really depressed, and so it's been 3 years, and that I've been trying to lose weight. Right, 3 years. I've been trying everything. I've been trying I tried the keto diet right after that fight. I tried the keto diet. I tried this. I've been trying intermittent fasting and stuff like that. I've been trying a lot of stuff, and I said, this is something this is part that I never told anybody. It was getting to the point, Batty, where I was just wanting to check out, man, because I'd never been fat my whole life, and I
Bingo. All right, so there we go. So in life, we want to look at patterns. All right, if we want to get solutions, we got to look at patterns in ourselves, patterns in others, patterns in nature. So Rampage Jackson never ever had a weight problem until he started fucking with this carbophobia shit. All right. He never had a problem with weight until he started limiting carbohydrates, and his thyroid went out, and he hopped on some thyroxine or whatever. And once you start cutting sugars, cutting carbs, your body goes into like, shit, we're in starvation. Let's store everything as fat and fluid, and let's get puffy and big and etc. So, and then he says he's in a fight in Japan, in Asia. All right. And if you want to find the smallest women, if you want to find a if you want to find a 1 billion Bruce Lee stunt doubles, all right, then where do you go? You go to Asia, okay? It just in terms of physique, all right, lean, toned men who don't train much, who don't take steroids. Their cultural diet is super high carbohydrate, super high processed carbs, cooked rice, sugars, things like that, cooked potatoes. Once we cook it, it's ultra processed. Like, look at when you cook a potato, what happens to the sugar, the glycemic index just shoots through the roof, yeah? So when you cook things, they're processed, which is fine. So these lean men and women in Asia eat a diet of processed carbohydrate, forever, for eons, okay? And they're culturally slim. But once an Asian moves to Australia or America and then starts to fear carbohydrate, or maybe they're at home in Tokyo or Bali, etc., or Bangkok, and they get on TikTok and they think, oh, carbs are bad, don't eat carbohydrate. Oh, this is a new trend, it's a new fashion, let me try that. They stop eating carbs, they get dehydrated for a bit, their performance goes to shit, and then the thyroid, the TSH starts to go up, and the weight starts to creep up. And they're like, oh my God, I'm getting fat now, I'm getting fat from all this chicken and protein and stuff, and the casein drinks and the whey proteins and all the Slim Fast. Maybe there's too much carbs in that still. maybe the chicken was fed on rice, and that's why I'm getting fat. So it's crazy, man. And then people just get fatter and fatter and fatter. But what this does is it generates mad money. Think of how much money Rampage Jackson and Paddy the Baddie have spent on weight loss stuff. Right? So they want you fat. They want you fat. They want you struggling with your weight. They want you insecure. They want to use models who are on tren and diuretics, as in saying, this is what you got to look like year round, blah, 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 or as a natty. They're using girls who are doing liposuction and then boob jobs and BBLs and all this bullshit stuff to set this false standard. And when actual fact, the best looking women are these slim Asian types or African types. Just a slim, healthy, fit looking woman. Like, girls, you don't need to take steroids. You don't need to do any surgeries like that, stuff like that. All right, just stand tall, have a smile, wear a summer dress. You're good to go. Stop injecting stuff in your face. But anyway, this is about weight loss. So you just see it, man. You just see it. These people just fear the carbs and they get fat. And I guarantee Paddy the Baddie. Here's the thing. Imagine if me, Paddy, and Rampage Jackson lived in a house. Imagine if they moved in with me and they did everything I fucking said. All right. Can you imagine the level of cardio these guys would have? Paddy would have the best cardio in the UFC for his weight class. Rampage Jackson would have the best cardio in the UFC for his weight class. All right. I would get these guys in such fucking incredible shape and with fucking zero PEDs. Zero PEDs. All right. These guys don't need PEDs. Yeah, sure, PEDs make you better, but in fighting, these guys just have the X factor, okay? So, yes, PEDs help massively, but I could get these guys to the top of their career without PEDs. Isn't that crazy, okay? Now, if that was cycling or running, if you said to me, okay, take XYZ runner or XYZ triathlete or XYZ, cyclist to the top of their career without PEDs, I'm like, well, that's not possible because those sports are so, watts per kilo driven, and PEDs like EPO, etc., oxygen vector compounds, that's next level, so we can't do that. We can't, you couldn't get top level performance in cycling, running, etc. without PEDs. But in UFC, the PEDs are not required to get the conditioning. The painkillers, though, on fight night, yeah, that's different. That's the strongest PED in post fighting is painkillers. Okay, that's the strongest PED, man. People don't even talk about that one. The testosterone, the EPO, they definitely make a difference, but that's not as important as the skill set and the mentality and stuff like that. So that's the main thing. And the cardio, man. Cardio is number one in fighting. Okay, if you've got a skilled fighter, two skilled fighters, and one has cardio, one doesn't, the one with cardio fucking wins, man, 99% of the time, unless they get a lucky hit. So that's the deal. If Rampage Jackson and Paddy the Baddy live with me, they would be the top of their fucking careers, man. Fucking guaranteed. Because the people they take advice from are sincere but sincerely wrong. And also some of the people they take advice from just sincerely don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Or they're sincerely chasing cash, so they just promote what's trending. You know? They're like a Nike store or something, just selling the latest shit, even if it's good or bad. Anyway, that's the wrap up. Why UFC fighters get fat is UFC fighters get fat and Thai fighters don't, or Asian fighters don't, as long as those Asian fighters stay on the high carb, plant-based, etc. Right, the leanest, lightweight fighters, they avoid animal products, they're Buddhist, etc., Shaolin monks, all that stuff, man. Alright, here we go. Alright, you don't want to live with me, Rampage or Paddy, then eat like a Shaolin monk, man. Rice, fruit, sugar. My diet is basically the Shaolin monk diet. And those guys are fucking lean, they're ripped, they're functional, they're getting it done. Okay? Simple as that. So you get these badass UFC fighters, and Paddy is a badass, Rampage is a badass. There's something going on upstairs to be that level of fighter. Okay? Good and bad. But you get that badass, chassis, which these guys have mentally, and you put that into like a Shaolin monk sort of diet, what I'm promoting. It's fucking next level, man. It's fucking next level. And Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan helps all this bullshit going on, man. Our carbs are bad, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, Shaolin monks, meanwhile, durianrider, meanwhile, all the crew do, every single cyclist, UFC fighter except does my protocol, gets fucking shredded, ripped, has their best careers ever. But meanwhile, we got Joe Rogan. It's the pasta. It's the pasta. No, it's the fucking cream in your fucking pasta. It ain't the fucking gluten, okay? It's when you cut out carbs, your thyroid goes to shit. And then you start gaining weight like a motherfucker. Even you see Natasha recently, people say, oh, Natasha gained weight. It's like, yeah. She was eating more fat and protein and just seeing, the changes in the body and the bra size and set. She went up to a double D. Fat and protein, man. Just instantly store the fat and the mass, okay? So if you want to lose weight, cut your fat protein, and you might cut a bra size, or you will, but you also cut waist size and stuff like that. So that's just the facts, man. The more fat and protein you eat, the more weight you have on the scale. Simple as that. So if Natasha wanted to cut down to a C cup and slimmer waist, then all she has to do is just cut the fat and protein, throw in a few TTs, pepper in some TTs and time trials, and we're good to go. You see my weight cut right down. I've jumped off the juice, and then weight's cutting down for cycling, and watts per kilo going up. So this is why I have the experience. I've used the PEDs, I've been the natties, I talk with the top of the top athletes and their coaches. I know what's going on. And weight loss is, it's crazy out there. I'm not I'm not an expert in PEDs. I'm aware of them. I've used them, but I'm not an expert in that. But I am an expert. I am the expert on weight loss. All right. I deal with the top athletes and their coaches, etc. And I'm the best out there. There's no one better than me. All right. There's no one better than me. These people out there promoting these starvation. There's coaches out there who can't even control their own fucking weight. All right. And they're starving themselves, running on caffeine, etc. And I'm definitely arrogant and obnoxious talking like that, but it comes from a place of wanting to help people. I do care. And I think if you're starving yourself, if you're counting your calories, man, stop. Stop counting your fucking calories. Calories don't matter, mate. All right? I don't count my calories. I'm fucking lean as fuck all the time. I don't count my calories. I don't count the calories I'm burning, because you can't. You can't accurately measure in or out. You can't. All I do is, if I want to drop weight, I just limit my fat and protein, right? And you even feel even better. You perform even better, okay? If I want to gain weight, then I'll eat more fat and protein, and then maybe throw in some anabolics. But right now we're trying to cut, so I'm keeping my fat super low, protein super low, and I'm not pumping all the anabolics that was back in the day when I was 85 kg. Now we're back into the 71s. It's hormones, people, but stop counting calories, man. There's no fucking animal in nature. Like, I do animal rescue. Right? I've always got an animal with me. Every week I've got some animal, a possum, a bird. We don't count their fucking calories. The animal doesn't go, oh, hang on, I've eaten too many worms. Let me tap into my app. Like, what the fuck? All right, unlimited species-specific foods. Okay, if you eat like Homer Simpson eats, You know, Homer Simpson ain't eating a high carb, low fat diet, man. Vegan thing. Anyway, it's fact. I don't count the calories. No animal in nature counts as calories. Okay. No animal in nature makes YouTube videos. Don't be a smart ass. Metabolically, counting your calories just fucks you up. It's disordered eating, it'll fuck you up, man. You end up like Rampage Jackson or Paddy the Baddy. If you're a girl and you look like Rampage or Paddy, then copy these guys.